What is going on, everyone? It is your shaman, your sister in spirit, and your friend Alicia Dumaby here on for some Friday readings. I'm only going to be on until 10 o'clock, and then I'm going to be hopping off. And today we are going to be doing something a little bit different, right? Always love challenging myself, always love trying new things. If you are here, drop some comments down below. I want to see who's here. I want to say hi. If you haven't already, please allow Facebook to give StreamYard some permission in Facebook, okay? So that way I can just see your name or just type your name, okay? Because I always love seeing you. Grand Rising, D! So happy that you're here. As you can see, I'm going to be doing some readings and Grand Rising, Danny. And I'm going to start off with something a little bit different. So I have been hearing and channeling to start doing like crystal grid readings. And I haven't really figured out exactly what that means, but why don't we like mess around and find out, right? So I have a couple of different things here with me. I'm going to be working with two different collectives, and I just want to see what comes up. Okay, then from there, if we have any time afterward, I'm going to open up some space to do some readings for you all if you are open to that. So the first, we're going to have two crystals here that we're going to be working with. Okay, so the first one is this green with pink. I think it's rhodochrosite. I'm not the crystal master. I'm just going to put it out there. But creating crystal grids are so fun. And then I have this one here. So pick one. I'll let your intuition kind of lead the way. Okay, you got it? Let's rock and roll. So the very first one that we're going to be working with is that this green stone here. Okay, and again, welcome all of the people that are just coming on. Grand Rising. We're doing some Friday readings. We're going to be working with the crystal grids. All right. So first and foremost, we are so grateful for all of those that are here. We are so grateful for this moment. We are so grateful for the opportunity to give clear messages. We are wrapping all of us in protective light. We are allowing messages from our guides and our loved ones to come through in order to provide healing and support to all of those that are there. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is done. So with this stone here, if you picked this one, immediately I love how the colors that are here. And I know that my camera quality isn't super great, but we have a lot of greens and pinks, which immediately actually I have experience with this stone. This has a lot to do with the heart chakra. So since we're dealing with matters of the heart, I want to just dive into acknowledging that. Okay. Immediately I get overwhelmed in my chest and throat area, and my arms begin to vibrate, which to me really begins to talk about how there might be something very stressful going on in your life that especially is making you feel disconnected from yourself. I do feel that on some level, we're being a little too hard on ourselves. It feels like disappointment, right? Because sometimes things can just feel like doubt, but this really does feel like a certain level of like, I feel kind of disappointed in myself, or I feel disconnected to myself. And it brings about certain levels of just feeling down. I would even go as far to say certain levels of sadness. Can you expand on that for me? So I pulled out a garnet next. I really think that what's going on here is that we're a little disconnected. To me, we're a little disconnected to the body here. I feel like from the point of view of the body, there really is going to be like some movement or some connection to the body that's required. Um, can you expand on that for me, please? It's oh, okay. So they're kind of giving a warning of like sometimes whenever we get disconnected or disappointed in ourselves, we'll just kind of want to go into a place where we'll just want to sit down and kind of like not do too much physical activity. And it's going to be very important for you to get the body moving in a way that feels right, right? That doesn't necessarily feel like a chore. They're talking about how like getting started is going to be the hardest part. They're also acknowledging that some of you might actually be getting out and like staying like getting physically active, and it does help to get outside and move around. But then whenever you get back at home, there is a certain level of like that feeling that comes back in. I'm going to pull from my oracle stones to see kind of exactly. Can you show me exactly what? Right, I will not be surprised. Right, I knew that. Okay. So the oracle stone that came out is Tiki, Tequila, who I love. Tiki is the oracle stone that tends to have some bunched up energy. She is a social butterfly. So I do feel that at some capacity, it's going to be super important for some of us to get around other people. When I think about garnet and I think about like it immediately takes me to the root chakra. The root chakra is also associated with tribe mentality. So us as human beings, we're pack animals. Like we really are. And it's very important for us to socialize. On the wheel of life, on the bubbles of life worksheet that I have in my 5-day challenge, if you haven't checked it out, it's free. It's on my Podia website. One of the bubbles of life is social, is our social life. So for those of us that maybe aren't running with our packs, it may be contributing to this feeling here, this feeling of like disconnection to self. I feel that what Tiki is really coming in to say is like you need to get out there, because whenever we're around other people can really inspire us to shine or to show up a little bit more. But whenever we isolate by ourselves, we can tend to like put all of the focus on ourselves um rather than use our energy to push out. So then the other stone that came out here is, I don't have a name for this, but you can kind of see it's like the question is the sun setting or is it rising? You know, for me, I do get this feeling of like the sun feels like it's setting. And so again, like the feeling of the blues and the cool colors are coming in. But also with that kind of suggestion, like, can we turn it around to where we feel like the sun is rising? When the sun sets, we do kind of get into this, like anchored. That's a great word. Thank you. Kind of like an anchored, the energy starts to pull down kind of mode. Can we use our creative power to then create the feeling of the sun rising, like okay, like now I'm climbing out of the hole, now I'm coming like up into the air? And how do we go about doing this? What advice do you have for this collective here? The song is coming to my mind. It's called it's with Justin Timberlake and Alicia Keys, but the exact words that are coming into my mind are, every time there's a new sunrise, ba-da-da-da-da, I open up my eyes. And I say to myself, in the whole wide world of guys, da 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 da, I must be the luckiest alive. 'Cause I'm in love with you, laying here to the morning light. Um, So to me, what that song is trying to say, right? Like the question was like, can we make the sun rise? I do feel that affirmations and getting a routine down from the get, like when we wake up in the morning, is going to be very important for this collective, right? Every time there's a new sunrise, I open up my eyes and I say to myself, in the whole wide world of guys, I must be the luckiest alive. So, can we wake up in the morning and cultivate some kind of ritual that says, I am the luckiest alive? Like, I'm so grateful to rise today. I'm so looking forward to what the day has in store. I am expecting a miracle to happen. Within the first 20 minutes, we're still kind of in those theta states of waking up. And so that is a super powerful place. That's when the subconscious mind is the most impressionable. And we're operating under those lenses, right? So what we want to do is we want to impress the subconscious mind to expect luck, to expect self-love, to expect good things. Then that song, I forget what his, some people are gonna be so upset. Is it Nako? I believe in the good things come in, come in, come in, come in. So because there's like songs coming in as well, I'm also getting the impression that it might be super supportive for the collective that picked this green stone here to really start the day, even maybe with some music. Like if your subconscious is super impressionable at this time, it might be nice to like put on a good motivational YouTube video, or to turn on some music, or to have a playlist that's going to train your mind to think more positive thoughts. I love Beautiful Chorus. I don't know if you all have heard of this. It's like it's a female group, but they have an entire album called Mantras and Love, I think. And I think one of the very first songs is like, breathe it in, breathe it out, let it go. So then, and it just says that mantra over and over again. So we can also introduce mantras into our practice as well. Is there anything else that you would like to say on behalf of this particular group? I'm hearing like words of advice, right? So like we gave you kind of like, what is the solution to support this feeling that I'm getting, which is affirmations, getting a nice morning routine, hanging out with friends, like socializing, but like words of encouragement. That's what's coming through. Go ahead. They're saying like you are so much more lovable than you think, and I love, like, since crystals are healing, that like this is the stone that you picked, and this is the stone that came in, because this really is about heart healing. For the depletion that's in the heart, there has to be some deeper level of understanding of like how really lovable and amazing you are, how important you are to those around you, and how important you are in the grand scheme of life. And eagle medicine is so helpful here. Hawk medicine, like any kind of bird medicine, is going to be super helpful, because what it allows us to do is it allows us to get out of the perspective where we get really stuck focusing on the things that we don't like about ourselves, or the things that aren't working in our favor. It's giving us an opportunity to expand our consciousness, and to really dive in deeper to I'm so sorry, I lost that. Can you say that again? To dive deep into life. We're talking about like really wanting to express to you. I'm gonna slow down here because they're telling me to. Like, you are precious. You're super loved. Like, more than you're giving yourself credit for. You're really being too hard on yourself right now. The expectations that you're setting on yourself are too hard. They're too high for right now. And it's going to be very important right now for you to see how far you've come, and to hold that level of perspective for yourself. Okay. Like, you are so loved. You're so lovable. And your guides, your ancestors, it's very disheartening to watch you be so hard on yourself when nobody else has that level of expectation on you. They're relishing and delighting in your existence. Truly, truly. They think that you're enough. They think you're more than enough. Okay. And sometimes we can lose that perspective of self, especially when we aren't around people that love us, and especially if we aren't well versed in loving ourselves. Okay. And this is not a request or a push for you to work harder on loving yourself. This is a request for you to take it easy, to give yourself some grace, to give yourself some love, some compassion, and some kindness because you deserve it. Okay? I hope that that message came through very clear for you. Yeah. It was a beautiful message. So thank you, all of our guides. Tiki, you do not belong in there. For coming forward and delivering the message for group 1. So for those of you that are just tuning in, we just did group 1. We're doing 2 groups today. This is the second stone. Okay. So we're going to start working with group 2. Just let me put this away before I get started. Okay. Another stone already popped out, so I'm going to honor that. Okay, so for group 2, I don't know what this is, but it's very weird because the word carnelian is coming into my mind. Oh, and I just Googled it, and that might be. We have a beautiful orange stone, it might be carnelian. And the other stone that came out here is this tiger's eye. So what I feel very strongly, I mean, obviously, whenever we are attracted to colors, orange is going to be a part of the sacral chakra. I feel, let me tune into this real quick. This group to me feels very energetic and very charged. I feel kind of like this sense of excitement for life and like stepping into creative power. This tiger's eye, whenever I like connect with it, the tiger's eye has a lot to do with like protection, and it has to do with like inner strength. So I do feel overall that you're feeling very, very, very much in your personal power. Very confident. What I do want to acknowledge, though, inside of my body, I do kind of get this this tension or this pressure right around in the chest space. And to me, what that is representing is maybe a little bit of a block, which is going to start building up pressure in the solar plexus. And I do believe that the tiger's eye is also associated with the solar plexus. And so, what I hear gently is checking the ego a little bit here. I'm so grateful that you are in your personal power. However, if we're not able to move this energy up through the heart chakra, what can happen is we do get that buildup of energy right into the chest. And sometimes what we begin to do, I'm hearing specifically, is that we're only looking through our own perspective rather than taking the perspective of others into consideration or thinking about how our actions are going to affect other people. So I'm going to, well, I trust you. I'm going to pull in a stone here. So Bappa came out. Okay. He's actually the oldest of my oracle stones. And what I really feel like his message is here is to make sure that we do access certain levels of wisdom as we are moving forward in our journey. Okay. He has the little glass here over his eye. And I think that I'm getting pulled to that because what he's asking us to do is take a closer look at ourselves. Take a closer look at what our intentions are, and take a closer look to those around us. Okay, I'm hearing very clearly, like, to look, at the details. Make sure that you're looking at all of the details. I feel like there's somebody here or somebody that's gonna find this video that's gonna be taking on a project, and the project, needs to be, honed in on a little bit more, because what's happening is you're gaining a little bit too much momentum. You're gaining a lot of momentum and you're not checking off all of the boxes off of the checklist. He's telling me that in the future, like they're tapping me into a future timeline where if you don't check all of these boxes off, it's going to create a lot more stress once the event or the project or the situation arrives. So please be sure that you look out for yourself. Again, the looking glass. Look out for yourself, for your future self as well. So that way you don't get the feelings of anxiety that even like I'm getting overwhelmed with right now. It's almost like it's making me sick, because I feel like I'm like rushing around and things are kind of piling on super fast. Okay. So this stone came out here, and this is exactly how I pulled it out. I feel that if you can see closely, like I have the little um, chakras colors on it. If it were to be like this, I would be like, oh, you're like in your king and queen energy, like you're rocking it. Because it came out sideways, it's like, again, I feel that this is really anchoring down that you do have a lot of powerful energy here, but it's not being directed necessarily in an upright direction. And because the root chakra is at the top of it, I do feel overall that what they're asking you to do is to get grounded and anchored, right? Um, I do feel that there is just a lot of head energy. Like there's just so much power, there's so much energy in this being that that's a very strong word. Do you have another word for that? It's like I'm moving really fast. I'm moving so fast that like I'm intentionally trying to slow down my speech because I feel like I'm like almost like an ADHD kind of like energy, like blah, 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 like bouncing around. So please do some grounding techniques just to help anchor yourself here. What is grounding techniques? Like what does that mean? It sounds so spiritual. It sounds so woo woo. Like what is this? Grounding really means again connecting with your body. For me, right? The chakras aren't just these wheels of power. They are also like a form of philosophy, which is what I teach in my programs, okay? In my chakra program. The philosophy that comes with the root chakra is that we are mind, body, and spirit. And the root chakra is specifically associated with the body. It is associated with the central nervous system. And when we have this much energy, this much what's another word for this? Like, I feel like this is also yes, I'm talking to people who understand this lingo, but I feel like there's somebody or a group of people that's going to be watching this video that it's like, I don't have that talk. So can you speak to me in a different way? Like they're like intellectuals. Um, so for example, whenever you drink caffeine, right? You know how it, like pumps you up like an energy drink gives you energy, right? Like that's what I'm talking about. This person or this collective has a lot of energy and it is not being honed in or focused, and it's causing you to like ping pong around a little bit. And what we don't realize is when our mind is ping ponging around, what it does is it uh, catalyst, it triggers, it sends off signals into the central nervous system to go into beta states, wavelength states. It goes and puts it into stress mode, puts it into I gotta go, I gotta do mode, which is the stress mode. Okay. So I'm talking to the intellectual here. I'm sorry for those of you who are hanging in, but like this is basically what I teach in my courses. So what we want to do is we want to work with the central nervous system so that way it doesn't teeter into burnout because you're using all of this energy in an unchanneled way. Does that make sense when I say that? So when I'm asking you, or when your guides, or when these readings are asking for you to ground, what they're asking you to do is to start to teeter yourself back into the parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest and digest. What they're asking you to do is practice a little bit of presence. They're asking you to practice some mindfulness, because when we aren't being mindful, we are just having a full mind. Ding, 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 ding. And we're not paying attention to the details. We're not thinking about people around us. Okay? We're not thinking about the future versions of ourselves. Right? So whenever we can be present here and we can slow down and take that energy, not from like 5-hour energy, Red Bull give you wings, right? When we can tone it down into, okay, I have a lot of energy here. I have a lot of creative energy. I have a lot of things that I'm ready to take action on. We want to funnel that in a way that is goal oriented, that is complete, because what they are saying is that you may not tick off all of the boxes and it's going to cause more damage in the future. Because then it's going to send you over the edge where it's like, I'm freaking out now. All right. So grounding techniques, what are some tools for that? Breathing, meditating, making sure that you're taking time to get into your body. I'm hearing like going for a walk, whether it's on the treadmill or going for a walk outside. Clearing the mind. Clearing the mind and or focusing the mind. They're saying watch your caffeine intake. Watch eating food that's going to send you over, okay, your sugar intake. Because you do have a lot of energy, and like spiritually speaking, you're working with your highest self and you're working with your guides with this energy to really manifest whatever it is that you've been working to manifest. And it's beautiful and it's great. And we congratulate you on like being here in your creative power. Really what they're here to do is just to like give you a little extra love and a little extra help in terms of honing in, like how to really push that manifestation through. The stone that also came out is amethyst, which to me is associated with the third eye. And what I'm hearing specifically is like clarity. Yeah. Like when the energy gets too much in the head, we can get unclear and things can get a little chaotic. So they're suggesting using some kind of amethyst to help balance out the third eye, to help balance out that mental energy, so that way you can get the clarity that you need. Another tool or technique that might be useful is making a list. Making a list of things that need to get done, so that way you can check it off. Is there anything else? Yeah, and they're talking about like a certain kind of like relationship. And relationships don't necessarily mean romantic. They could, like absolutely. But they are talking about just checking in with how you are showing up in your relationship to others. And what is a relationship? It's me versus the other. So this is me versus food, me versus my partner, me and my kids, me and my friends, me and my job, me and this. That is a relationship. It's who you are in conjunct, in relationship to, right? Into something else. So check in with that. Um, Okay. And lastly, I'm just gonna like hit this point. They do feel that overall, like that block that's in the chest, like once you're able to open this up a little bit more, when you're able to tap into your heart center in terms of others, like connecting with others a little bit more, thinking about others a little bit more, I almost like feel like this energy in my throat. Um, maybe you said something wrong, maybe you're afraid to say something wrong. What they're really asking you to do is to speak up in regards to whatever situation this is, whether it's an apology, whether it's admitting that you were hurt, or you feel like the word betrayal keeps coming in. And then I do keep focusing on something blue. So I do also feel that in balancing out this energy, it's not just about like getting clarity, but there is a certain level of talking to someone or something or a group of people about something that's going to help like release the valve of this energetic pressure that's building up in the body as well. So this might be for the same person, this might be for like somebody different, but is in the same collective. I just wanted to point that out. And is there anything else that, oh, words of encouragement? Do we have any words of encouragement? What they're saying is that everything is going to be okay. They're saying that something about celebrate. Like now is the time to celebrate yourself. I do feel they're saying sometimes whenever we have this amount of energy in the body, it can feel very overwhelming. So one way to like transmute the pressure of this energy, of having this much energy in the body, rather than making it a story of stress, to make it a story of celebration. So use it to laugh and to play. That's also going to be a way of releasing or using this energy in a powerful way, especially in terms of manifesting the thing that you are trying to manifest. And that word manifest is like a hot word right now. I really want to like try to change that. So who am I, to try to change these words? But it's basically like whatever you are doing, whatever you are working toward. Thank you. Whatever you're working toward, there is a lot of energy there, but it is starting to feel like a little bit like stress. So one thing that's really going to help is to like celebrate yourself, because everybody is celebrating you. Again, they just really want to offer these tips in order to support you in enjoying the ride. That's what they're talking about. So I am. Is that complete? Yeah, that's complete. So I have taken up my whole time, my whole 30 minutes, just in these two readings. I hope that it resonated for those of you that hopped in. It's always so fun to try something new with you all, and to bring out old tools, and to hang out. Before I hop off, what do you guys think? Did anything resonate? Did anything not resonate? Comments, concerns, questions? If not, let's see. You rock. I love my rocks. I love rocking out. Feel connected to a little bit of both of them. Right. Yeah. Missed 98% of it. Hey, that's all right. Resonated with me. I'm so glad, Dee. Have to rewatch. Please do. Let me know. Leave a comment when you do rewatch it. I do find that in terms of this comment here, feel connected to a little bit of both of them. Especially because you guys were holding the container. That doesn't surprise me. And we are multifaceted beings at the end of the day. You know, so to say that one reading is going to tell the whole part of us, I don't think it's fair. You know, I pride myself in being multifaceted, and to be honest, I can resonate with pieces of both as well. So thank you for the feedback. Thank you for your time. I gave permission and my name still isn't coming up. StreamYard. WTF, bruh. Like what? Maybe next time. We'll see if it works next time. We'll see. I'm glad that you gave me that feedback though, because it's always good to know. I love you all. I hope that you have a great weekend. For those of you that are local, the full moon event is out at Luna Blue in Smithfield. Go check that out. We still have the, I'm sorry, this Saturday out at the Laurel Highlands. I think the link is in my description. We have that CBD retreat. Super cool. If you guys want to come out for that, it's from 2:30 to 10. I think that there are still some spots available. At the end of July, we have the Rewilding retreat with Devin, Anthony, Michelle, and yours truly. So please come out for that. It's going to be a great healing experience. So many big things going on, you know, and so many friends to come hang out with and vibe with. So I hope you all have a great weekend. I'm loving you so much. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll catch y'all on the flip flop. Yeah. Bye.